On this week, Black, White, Red all over, we've read some stuff. A lot of stuff, actually.
Yes.
There's a whole bunch of, good grief.
Bunch. Had to do putbacks.
Yeah, man, I still haven't, so we're not going to talk about that. But, we've read, we've reviewed, and we are going to recommend some books for you. And, I'm going to just grab this one, too. I'll put them back, I promise. Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Black, White, and Red all over. I'm Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics.
Ryan Seymour, King of Comic Town, here in Columbus, Ohio.
Boom, boom! Man, I love being from Columbus, and we get an actual shout out in one of the books that we read this week, so I'm super excited. We've got a lot of comic booky content that's out in the world right now, whether you Spider-Versed, Flashpointed, and starting when you guys are watching it, Secret Invasion. We're seeing all kinds of comic booky goodness, but we hope that you guys take the time to go to your local comic shop to see where it all began, get you some comics.
Because there's a ton this week.
Yes.
A ton this week.
A lot. So much. When it comes to having big weeks like this, as a shop, does it make it harder for you guys when it comes to the ordering process?
A little bit, yeah, because you want to be able to work within your budget.
Right.
But then when you see so much stuff, there's certain things you can be okay, we know we only sell polls for that, so we can cut to that. But there's other stuff like Philip Kennedy Johnson on Hulk, or we got Brian Hitch and Jonathan Hickman on Ultimate Invasion, stuff like that. You just kind of have to go big because you know it's going to be quality.
Yep. So hopefully your shop has ordered just as succinctly, and you got some amazing things that you want to check out. But just to help you along the way, we've read and reviewed some things. So we're going to recommend what we think are some really good books for you to have. So good reads that you should read is how we started off. These are the ones, if you got a little extra dollar action, you should go home with these.
Yeah,
absolutely. We've got two of the same, one that's different. Where do you want to start?
All right, let's do Vigil.
Let's go.
All right. Big fan of Ron V's writing.
Yes.
I have been for a while. Once again, I've said it a million times. If you have not read The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Seriously.
So go check it out. That's one of his books. All right, and the Vigil is a super powered team. I'm not going to call them superheroes.
Okay.
Based out of India, and it's this really kind of cool combination. And I don't know if that's what they're shooting for, but we got kind of a combination of planetary and authority.
Ooh.
Where this is a superpowered team that works covert and totally autonomously. They basically can do whatever they want. And from what we're finding out, there's this hidden world of other stuff, conspiracies. There's this particular issue, there's a story about experiments that are done on people.
Okay.
And it's revealed slowly but surely as it's being infiltrated by one of the members of the Vigil.
Oh.
And kind of like with Planetary, it's like the hidden history of the Wildstorm universe. This is like the hidden history of this. And it's really, really cool. It's got it matches the vibe of both of those. So if you're,
you should definitely check that out.
Check it out. It's really, really good. The art's amazing. The story is amazing. It's just enough sci-fi, just enough superpower stuff, just enough edginess. Really, really good.
I like it.
And
I
so
like it a
issue
lot
too.
That makes it super easy because it's accessible, and so if you dig it, you don't have long to go back, to catch up, which I think is superb. My other one that's different is Nightwing. This one was a tough one. Okay, so Nightwing 105, Tom Taylor, Redondo, and Lucas. The thing that makes this one so amazing, and I hope this isn't a major spoiler, but this one is actually told from Nightwing's point of view, right? So literally, it's from a first-person framework.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
literally
from Nightwing's point of view, which I thought was absolutely fascinating. And the reason why it's so fascinating to me is I literally had that thought maybe a year ago. Has anyone ever done that? That's kind of weird, but fun. And of course, Tom Taylor would be one of the guys that writes a story that is so perfectly told in that way. And what I love the most about it is that it wasn't the focus of the story. It just is the way that the story is told. So if you really dig Nightwing and you've been following along, this is a continuation of its greatness, just a different way of showcasing the story being told to the people. So
heck yeah.
Yeah, super fun. So highly recommend, get that if you're a fan. So yeah. Okay, so we've both read the
Yes.
remaining two. Where do you want to start?
Stick with DC and wrap up with that.
Let's do it. Let's do it. All right, so we've got Dawn of DC, Superman, number 5. We got Williamson and Campbell. This again is still a gorgeous looking book. Like this is absolutely fantastic.
It's a better love story than Twilight, which will make sense once you read it.
It really like I don't want to get in trouble for saying that, but you know, truth is truth. This one I think is really heartfelt, and I have to admit, the villain structure beforehand, I was kind of like, okay, like maybe there's a threat level here that I'm not seeing. But when this plays out, the level of chess that's being played here, there's a reason why Lex is kind of worried right now. And
because there's a level of planning, a level of super villainness that we haven't seen in a while.
No.
And especially not like to make Lex look second tier.
That's tough. Okay?
Right?
Like that is tough. And we're not saying that like hyperbole. It's true. Like the level of what has happened thus far and up to this point, like, whoa. I have a newfound respect for these guys. Because at first, you know, I'm like, that's cute. They got like a little infinity gauntlet they're running around it.
Yeah.
No. There's some serious thought, some meticulous planning, things like that have happened that I think are
and layers. Because
super layers.
Because you've got the main villain threaten this,
right?
Which you have to have the big dust up.
Yep.
And then you see how it actually plays into the larger plan, which when it happened, I'm like, wait a minute,
right?
How did
and to see how that actually, because especially when you have a moment that you're like, oh, this is kind of a good thing. You're like, no, this is bad. Yeah, this is very bad. And you don't even know how bad it is yet. That's good storytelling. So highly recommend that one. That was good. Yeah, that was really
Superman's good. Clark Kentness. Again,
that's good.
Really good. Really well
done. Okay, now this one, our last of the good reads you should read. Incredible Hulk, number 1. Philip Kennedy Johnson, Nick Klein, Matthew Wilson. This is off the heels of Immortal Hulk. So in terms of the vibe, we're talking horror, right? So this isn't like, oh, superhero dust up. Like, no. Yeah. This is true return to the bump in the night.
Is it a monster? Is it a man?
Right.
What other stuff is like that and the fringes of our reality?
Yes.
So it's like, we went from Al Ewing's to Donny Cates, where it was like using Hulk's body as a spaceship.
Like, I mean, and I know that sounds weird, but at the same time, when you go back and you read that, the psychological idea of it is where it really kind of shines. So we go from Immortal Hulk, which is this weird sort of
1950s horror sort of thing.
Then we go super sci-fi, and now we're back into a horror space. And
Nick Klein, like, he subtly changed his art to fit this, and it's got this very Francavilla sort of vibe to it. And if you don't know Francavella's art, look up the Archie Dark universe stuff.
Heavy darks, the muted color schemes, everything is so on point here. The thing that gets me is that this, okay, so as we were talking before, so Immortal Hulk is a little bit of a poltergeist, like Exorcist level horror. This one seems to be a little bit more like a Freddy Krueger-ish type thing, where there's like a method to what Freddy does. Like Freddy comes for you in your dreams, so you know if you fall asleep, you're susceptible. This seems to be something like that, where there's monsters that come out with certain intentions, and there's certain catalysts for them. And
we also talked about the transformation.
Like, get ready.
Right, because we've seen Banner transform into the Hulk and back and forth for years and years and years. This is the first time it's ever been kind of scary.
It grosses me out.
It's not the normal way it had happened in the past, or at least had been rendered in the past as far as art. And it puts it in this space where it's just not right. Like, you're not. Yeah, you'll see when you read it. It's just really, really good. And these the other creatures in this, man, it's like
just as scary.
Yeah,
just as scary.
It's like Mignola meets John Carpenter's Thing. I mean, they're just monstrous.
It's just bad. Okay, like there's a lot of like it just doesn't make you feel good, is what that is. Man, and the level of tone here is super heavy.
Yes.
This is not a quick read. Like, it's kind of emotional.
It is.
Like,
because we meet a family
yeah,
that really...
No bueno.
Yeah.
No bueno. So, yeah, if you got some extra dollars, we highly recommend these. Go home with you. Add these to your read pile because they were phenomenal. And I think now it's time for us to get to the books that you have to go home with.
You have to.
You must. Trust us. Trust us. Welcome back to Black, White, and Red All Over. I'm still Victor Dandridge, the hardest working man in comics.
Ryan Seymour.
Yes, that's what we are. Okay, we're here for the show. This is what we do. Okay, but no, we've got the must reads.
Yes.
Okay, so these are beyond good reads that you should read. These are the ones that you have to go home with because they're that amazing. We've got two that are the same.
Yes.
One that's different. Where do you want to start?
All right. Why don't you lead us off with World's Finest number 16? Because this is one that we had an uptick in the number of people requesting.
Yeah, because I noticed that like the amount of books that you actually have on the shelf was dwindled down to like one, and I was like, oh, so this is what happens when people suddenly want to add this to their pull list, but you don't have time to actually add more to the order. So hurry up and come in here and grab this one because it's amazing. And obviously this is a great variant cover by BWRAO. Oh yeah, you gotta love it. Okay, Dan Wade. Or no, not Dan Wade. Mark Wade, Dan Mora. I just combine them, okay? Because the storytelling that they do is so good. I'm sorry. Mark, I love you. You know that. What we have here, again, is this quintessential storytelling. It is Silver Age vibes, but in modern context. And we are dealing with probably one of the greatest threats with it when it comes to Amazo since... not everybody affects like Amazo with a top tier villain level. Yeah. This does that. We've got like the God Killer setup. I don't know if have you been reading that at all? Okay, so Amazo brilliantly decides to build another Amazo, one that is built off of not just Amazo's ability to copy powers, but Metamorpho's ability to affect elements. So not only does it come through with the strength of Superman, it can turn into Kryptonite and sit Big Boy Blue down. Yeah, hardcore. Okay, so everyone is all hands on deck trying to get involved with this. We're talking Metalmen. Everybody is trying to figure this out.
It's a world-ending threat.
And of course, because this is World's Finest, you're talking Superman and Batman. So you can talk about, Superman is a physical threat. Who is the real threat, though? We know the pointy-eared man is the one. And when Amazo realizes, hey, listen, I may not have powers that I can copy from you, but there's some things I need to figure out, it goes down. So, yeah, this whole series, man, it's so good.
So good.
So good. It gives you all the feels.
It's underrated.
Yeah.
It doesn't sell as much as it should.
It's ridiculous.
And I don't care how many copies your shop sells. It is not enough.
It's not enough. It's not enough. Like, literally, kids should be running around, and I say this, like, legitimately, with this rolled up in their back pocket. And I know, for collectors, that's horrid. But it's that good of a book that kids should just be running around playing out these adventures themselves. Yeah. Like, I get to be this person. I get to be this person. Doing this in their backyard with towels wrapped around their necks. Safely.
Yes.
Safely. You always say that. But yeah, this, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. Highly recommend.
As good.
Okay. This was a U book without question.
All right. From the Bone Orchard overarching imprint, The Tenement. Jeff Lemire, Andrea Sorrentino, Dave Stewart. All right. If you have not read any of this creative team's stuff before, it's horror. Yeah. It is messed up ass horror. So in this one, it's a group of people that live in this tenement. Yeah. It's an apartment complex. It doesn't appear to be particularly high income. And these 7 people that do not seem to be connected
under any circumstance. They just happen to live next to each other.
Yeah, like it's collective. It's like a kid. It's a independent pharmaceutical rep. We'll call
that's a way to call that. Yeah, musician.
Yep.
Yeah.
Musician.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just when you're not doing that. So it's the down and luck family. Like I feel bad for that family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's the American dream right there. And
nightmare.
The art is semi-photorealistic, which really kind of makes it even creepier because you're like almost at reality.
Yes.
And you don't know it plays with that. All right. It gave me a vibe kind of like a postmodern Dark Tower where there's these people that are being assembled that they don't fully know that yet. And there's some threat that exists that
it's just making itself known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's on the periphery and it's getting there. So we still don't know what it is. We just know that something really, really, really bad is on the horizon. And seeing these people, how they're going to be ripped out of their realities here in a second is just really, really cool.
If there was a moment that you qualify as the creepiest to you, what would it have been?
Oh, it would have been...
I wonder if I was the same. Because I read this one too, but I had to put this one back just for the sake of stuff.
For me, that.
Really? So, for me, it was this. Not necessarily having to even see what was there.
Yeah.
Just that alone. Because the interaction that caused that was so...
Yeah.
And I was like, no.
That violates a rule. You're not allowed to mess with it.
Don't do that, man. Like, that's just not okay. And the other thing that I really loved about this, nothing actually happens.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. It's Seinfeldian.
Yeah.
And there's like nothing happened. These people got home. It was like something that they looked out a window, and that's it.
That's like literally like you would think that we would get a little bit more of the lead into, but the build up to this is kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Because like reading, you're like, nothing actually happened, but you know it's coming.
Yeah, it's
right there. It's coming.
It's right on the edge.
Yeah, issue 2 comes out next week, right? Please.
I wish. I really do.
Oh, man, because it's when you get something like that, you need the next issue right away. So definitely pick that up. Tenement was creeptastic, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. Okay, we've got some marvelous selections to round out. Where do you want to go?
Toughie. This is actually a really difficult, and I was hating that we were eventually going to hit this part of the show.
Sorry, it's what happens. It's what happens.
Because we've got the return of something that kicked off this current world of comics that we read.
Absolutely.
From the Marvel Renaissance of the 2000s. This is also really cool.
It is.
Man.
Blind pick. Close your eyes. Reach out. 3, 2, 1. No. And let's close it. All right. So, Ultimate Invasion #1. This is Jonathan Hickman, Brian Hitch. So you're talking two creators that their name alone should equate to a certain number of books sold, period.
Yeah.
Right? Like just off rip, these are some books that are being sold. Ultimate Invasion, the Ultimate Universe, was a phenomenal experiment that aimed to get readers into comic shops en masse in a way that they hadn't been for a few years.
Yeah.
And it worked. Like,
the reason we have Sam Jackson as Nick Fury is a direct result of Ultimates, the Ultimate Avengers story.
Literally.
A lot of the Marvel cinematic universe is based on these stories that came out in the early 2000s.
Yep.
But things happened and that universe was destroyed.
Yes. Part of the context for it is at the turn of the century, the need for unburdened comic series that didn't have 60 plus years of continuity to kind of contend with. 40, I guess, at that point.
Yeah.
Oh God, jeez.
Yeah.
I won't have to see the 60 now. But yeah, they didn't need all that continuity to kind of contend with, so they wanted to tell stories fresh for a new audience, and they did that. Well, what happens when that audience becomes hired with continuity?
Yeah.
You kind of go, oh, well, this experiment ran its course, and through great storytelling, gets destroyed.
Yep.
Who was it that destroyed it? Jonathan Hickman. So what better person to bring it back?
Yeah.
Jonathan Hickman. Here's the thing. We've chatted before about, who's the best villain in comics and things like that. And Victor Von Doom comes up often.
All the time.
Right? Like, I mean, he is one of the best.
Yeah, his resume is impeccable.
Yeah. Like, his darkness is dark. However, the only thing that's truly worse than a Victor Von Doom is an evil Reed Richards.
Yeah.
Like, not a failing Reed Richards, a purposefully evil Reed Richards. And that's what the Ultimate Universe gave us. There, Reed Richards becomes a character known as the Maker. And unfortunately, he too survived the death of the Ultimate Universe. He ain't happy about that.
Yeah.
He feels a certain kind of way. And this,
because his plan, like, for people that read Dark Knight's Metal, you know, when he got to the point where the Batman Who Laughs, you're like, oh man, it's a Batman, but like,
Jokerized, and
this is worse.
Way worse. Way worse. Because this is still the intellect of Reed, like the mechanical thought process, the breakdown, the discovery, all of that Reed Richards style, but bad.
Yeah.
Like bad. And inevitably, because of his badness, going to a place where his imagination lives is a space where our Reed Richards doesn't, he's always going to be one step ahead.
Right.
Because Reed would never think to do this.
Yeah.
And this guy, that's what he lives for.
Because that plan that he executed.
Yeah. That was diabolical.
That was
absolutely diabolical.
So messed up.
And
the message being sent.
Yeah.
This makes me feel so much like the early issues of Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate FF, all of that. And he's succeeding.
Dude, that alone with what he does, that's terrifying. Because I'm like, well, then what does that mean? Like, what does that do if you don't get this thing that was kind of the cat? What do we do?
Yeah, it's
creepy.
It's just if you want a really terrifying, charismatic, yet cold villain, because the way he talks, you're like, okay, that's impressive. That's really cool.
Yeah.
But there's an iciness to it that even as you're just reading, because you don't hear it, there's an iciness to it that you're like,
it's not okay.
An insect to this person.
Oh,
like,
absolutely. Not even that, right? I am a molecule for him to play with and turn into other things. Oh
my gosh.
Yeah, like there's
it's Brian Hitch's art. Like,
right?
If you don't know Brian Hitch's art, you need to see, because it's so...
It is literally Brian Hitch who made Nick Fury be Samuel Jackson. Like, that is the, like, and again, so you have the guys that like really like kicked off the Ultimate Universe and the guys that end the Ultimate, like,
together doing something potentially earth-shattering.
Yeah, it's cosmic peanut butter and jelly, and I'm here to eat. Okay, I'm here to eat it. I don't want all of it. Like that's I don't even know where he is going with this.
Right?
Like,
because there's one level of he's already kind of succeeded.
Yes.
Based on that.
Yes.
But what does he want?
What is his end game? Like, if that's what he's doing to start, like, Kang, are you taking notes? Because this is how you do it, my guy. Like, that's... I don't even know.
Right.
Speaking of Kang.
Gosh. I'm not used to seeing Kang in that position.
Yo, nobody is. Nobody. Kang himself's not even used to that. The Avengers, number 2. Jim McKay, Villa, Blee. I'm going to tell you why this gets Book of the Week for me. Because we get shouted out. Okay?
And very specifically... It isn't just like Columbus. Everybody knows Columbus.
Yeah.
There's other cities that are adjacent. I'm like, wait a minute.
Wait, I know where you're going. So big shout out because you represented Columbus, Ohio. We appreciate that. The last time that I can recall a Marvel comic shouting us out, Brian Michael Bendis tried to destroy us. I haven't forgotten that, Brian. Okay? I have not forgotten. Watch your back. Watch your back. So big shout out to Jet for giving us some love. And making sure that we're safe. Okay, so the context of this mission. Big. Yes. In a small way. Is that weird to say? Like, what we've got as a barter appeals directly to the Avengers, without question.
Yeah.
It's part of their charter. But in scale of who they're dealing with, this is a pittance. Yes. Like, they should know, like, if he's willing to trade this, what he's got on the back burner, way worse. Yeah. Way worse. And I think Carol knows, but she still has to...
Well, you got to play ball.
You do.
Because what's being offered... Oh, I'm trying to figure out how to say this without giving details that are spoilerific. You have to take it, because once it is proved that you're being given this real gift, you can't say no, because what if you say no?
Then what are you giving up? Like, are you you a hero if you give that up?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And
I don't think so.
Then you got to contend with let's assume that the show of good faith is reciprocated with like, here's what I need you to do.
Yep.
Is that good? Because we don't. Maybe I missed it, but I've never heard of those characters before.
No, me neither.
Me neither. This thing that shows up also.
That's
no idea.
Creeptastic. I low-key expected a watcher to be in the corner, just to be like, what is that? Don't even. That's wild. So yeah, like,
because the things that are being stopped are for Avengers kind of low level.
Very low level. I mean, this is essentially Avengers Assemble for bank robberies.
Right.
You don't do that.
No, that's like taking a laser gun to take out a mosquito.
Right. I mean, I would do that though.
Yeah, I totally would.
Mosquitoes are trash. But no, this is absolutely amazing. And the fundamental ways that these Avengers are working together is so very different than what we've ever seen. So yeah.
Man, if Kang is right, what are they about to walk into? And then so because when you go from Jason Aaron, it's difficult. Like, Jason is absolutely amazing at what he does in writing, and Jed has come in and put his own stamp.
Yeah, and
it's still Avengers, but it's different, and you can feel that. It's amazing. The art is also really
CF
cool.
is killing it. It feels very familiar, but still brand new all at the same time.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Very, very awesome. And again, I love the icon structure of who the Avengers are.
Because this is a lineup. Captain Marvel, Sam Wilson, Captain America, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Thor, Iron Man, Black Panther.
Like, that's, I mean, fight them if you want to. That's a no thanks.
Yeah,
that's an L just waiting to happen.
That's a whole lot of note. Like, who do you? I don't know. Like, the weakest is what, Sam, but still,
but not. Yeah, like all of the same. Like, even by saying he's the weakest, he'll still punch you in the face.
Right.
You know, he's got a great musical taste, by the way. Just want to throw that out there.
Man, that team is scary looking,
dude. But okay, I have theories because that looks familiar, and if that is any sort of reference to who I think it is, especially with that there,
that's a lot of bad.
Yeah, that's a lot of bad, and not a problem that the Avengers really want to deal with.
Yeah, but they don't know.
They don't know. Like, and they can't know because their source is incapacitated. Like, a lot of fun.
Yes.
I think that's the biggest thing right now. The books of the week that we are highly recommending for you are just generally fun comics, things that you read and then you'll want to reread. That's a good question. I'm curious for you guys. How many times should you want to reread a book to hit the value of what it costs? That is I've never asked that question before. But I think that these are ones that you would definitely want to reread over and over and over again. So, high value, good marks. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Yeah, these are all absolute winners.
So take it. Wait, how much are we spending for this?
You don't want to know on Ultimate Invasion.
No. Oh, what is it?
It's $9. $9. But it's like,
I mean, it's a thick book. It is a thick book.
It is.
It is a thick book. So that's 9. That's 4. That's a lot.
17, 20.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, if you got $20 that you're going to the shop with, highly recommend. If you got some extras, we had those that we recommended as well. Not bad. We hope that you enjoyed what we've given you as a recommendation. If you did, click that thumbs up. Let us know that you liked it. Share it with everyone else. Like, literally, share this. Like, we want people to know.
Crazy.
You know, click that arrow thing and it.
Yeah, it's like one.
Done. Tells you where to go.
Yep. We do this every week, so hit subscribe and tell your phone to let you know when we put the stuff out, because we do it once a week as like the big one, and then Jeremy goes super above and beyond and cuts it up into each book has its own segment.
Little tidbit. So if you actually love one of the books in particular, share that one too, because we want to hear from you about it. Like, and if you disagree with us, we really want to hear about that.
Comment below.
Yeah, tell us all the things. We'll see you guys next week. Keep reading.